this one we are going to talk about perspective, and perspective you are going to need it if you're going to be serious about drawing and designing character environment. It's really important for all. What you can do to get a straight line is go to your default brush here, take transfer off, shape dynamic off, then you can have hold shift, press first, then hold shift, and then pick the dot, press, hold shift, pick the dot, and if you still hold shift it will continue down. If you release then it won't follow. So these are usually what I use to get a straight line if I'm not freehand. You can freehand, it's okay. Alright, so now we're going to talk about 1 point perspective here. Usually first thing that you need to know is you need to have horizontal line, which is right here. That's where the furthest point that you are going to, that's basically on the horizon, so that's the furthest you could see. And then you're going to have to pick your vanishing point. Let's don't pick in the middle because that's going to be too typical. So I move to the left or move to the right. I'm just going to pick maybe a little here. That will be your vanishing point. And V, edge, so you need horizontal line, vanishing point. Then you are going to need all these construction lines starting from there, either from below or from up top. Make sure that they all line up. It's not super accurate, is it? Gonna make the line thinner and just draw some, random line. Make sure they start from the same origin. So it's just going to be roughly, so it might be slightly, off, not from the origin, but when you draw, try to make it super accurate. So there you have all these lines from the vanishing point. Then I'm going to name this H. Wait, what's this one? This is V. And this is H. This is line. So now we are going to excuse me, actually I'm going to color all this line to make it green so that it doesn't, so I lock the layer, so it's easier to identify which is which when I'm going to start drawing an object in front of it. So now you're going to need to find the line for the ground. So you could maybe use the same color. Section it. So in this grid here, I'm trying to establish it as the ground floor, and when you have the horizontal line in the middle, it's more like a normal viewpoint, sort of when we look at the normal on the straight down to the horizontal line. Sometimes you have a horizontal line that are high. This will be bird eye view, but we're going to talk about that later. So we're going to move that here. That will be bird eye view, and this will be ant's eye view. So you can move it up or down, and anywhere in the middle you're going to have pretty much a normal viewport. So it'll be a different point of view. So it's going to be bird eye view. Gonna make another layer. I just merge this down. Drawing P2. So point of view 2, it will be P2 bird eye view. So 1 point still. So we have really high horizontal line here. Then we could possibly borrow the grid from that, but then we are going to move it or flip it to this part, and then your vanishing point is now here. Okay, so when you have a bird eye view, which is your horizontal line is kind of higher. Oops, that one move also. I'm gonna make a copy of that, put it in that one line. So this will be grid P1, grid P2. Actually, I could move all this down to the same layer here. Well, actually, no. Just gonna put them in the folder called 001. So include the grid in the P1 there. And the drawing, well, why is the drawing? Oh, line. Alright, so in 001 you have the drawing and then the grid for the 01, including horizontal line, vanishing point. So now I'm going to make the 02. Whoops. Going to put drawing number 2 and grid for number 2 all in there. Going to move grid up a bit. So now it's a bird eye view. So you can make it higher. Okay. And it's the reason is the bird eye view because everything you see is basically from the top down, right? So you see everything from the top down. Gonna have to delete this horizontal line from the first one here, because it's getting pretty confusing, because you still see the faint line of the one that was previously made. Alright, so now you can either you do cityscape or you're doing a landscape. It works the same way. So in here you could basically follow the grid, desaturate about 40, right? And then you could have some even lower here. And you can have like multi-level, right, of the building that you can see from the top. And just make the box first, basically. Just gonna make multiple box here. Maybe too thick. Gonna thin it down a bit. Yeah, let's go. Let's stop it here. Then this building will be taller. So this is the plane on top of the building, basically. I'm gonna erase this one. Maybe make another one that kind of angle down here. breaking section here. And maybe another building right here. Yeah, I don't want to be in the middle, so maybe I can have a little angle. So now you have like multi-level. But usually building doesn't just go straight up, right? It probably have, this one have a really thin face here, multi-level, and sometimes you can have a building that go over the horizontal line, and then let's cross it on the front here. And some of them might be really tall. Well, not sure we want to break that. Let's not have another tall one. Let's just have it at the same level, basically. Gotta make sure that it's go right there. And some building might have different angle. Alright, so now you are going to add another floor here. Take it down, and then maybe you have some kind of balcony. I like making balcony, right? It's kind of make it easier for you to see all those. So here you're gonna have like the top view of all these building. Now I'm just gonna freehand it. You can have like Batman. Right, and you have another from there to here, be a little bit wider there. Let's take the Batman out first. Let's figure out the front part of this. Yeah, it's gonna take some time to get perspective no matter what, especially if you're doing a cityscape. Now we're gonna have to erase all these. have another level here. Make sure this line up. Alright, and now you're just gonna have to add, detail that are important, kind of like the cross section and vertical line. Usually I'm just gonna go with the vertical line first. If that's thin, then come here, it's gotta be bigger slightly to show the distance. As it goes further, it's going to be tapered. And then you can move this in a bit, breaking section, show some thickness. And then just come down a bit. And then you're going to have the line inside. There. And erase that. And this might be some sort of a door or entry or a big window, whatever you prefer. Right, and then break section. And if you have to kind of calculate this first, like when you break a section you have to do the X or something so that you have all the section kind of even, breaking out evenly. This will be thinner, but I'm just kind of loosely guesstimating all this, right? And then in here you might have some kind of rail or balcony or something, because people can fall off of this high level building. Now let's do that one again. Yeah, it looks complicated, but it's not really. It just takes time. So take some time on these things, and you'll be okay. And now I'm gonna see the top part of it, make some thickness of this pole. Make that a bit thicker, maybe a little higher. There. Right, and you have the top thickness. You have some kind of rail or glass, something if it's easier. Right, and then on top, probably have some, I don't know, I'm just gonna freehand it now. This will be kind of closer to the horizontal line now, so it will be, except that it will be bigger as it comes closer to us here. Maybe have only 4 pole here. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this off. So now we have that. Maybe we have a little bit of door. And now when it's go up past the horizontal line, it has to angle down. And add vertical columns. My line got really scribbly. Vertical columns. Alright, I'm going to zoom out a bit. So here you can have some kind of a roof, something, right? Can make similar roof here. Whatever you want to make it. So then and here just a bunch of stuff on top of the building. This will be the point of bird eye view. So and then you're gonna have people standing. This might also be a bunch of windows. Make sure that your perspective matches. And this might be some kind of a doorway. Well, that's way too big. You have to think about scale also. Going to add vertical columns first. Vertical columns and vertical columns here. It's got to be slightly bigger. So you can, in the real world, if you're designing some of this stuff, you're gonna have to really measure like how far apart it is from each other, so you can get a real measurement. But since you are doing just the concept, then most of the time you can crop the scene and you can just get only the part that are more important or has the information that you need. Window, right, and then here you might have another line there. Breaking section. Just a bunch of line that you need to break section. And then here you might have another. So if I turn this off, then that's now you have, and then now you have to go in and add more information to the rest of these, right? Maybe some of these, maybe get rid of some of these. Some of them are too close. Like this one looks way too close. Let's turn that on. That line. Oh, I don't think I need to delete that. Vertical columns, maybe something on top here. Have another balcony here. Roof. So now I'm adding a little bit more stuff onto these, and I forgot to record. So just add a clock tower here. So basically just add vertical columns, window, vertical columns, right? So basically the bird eye view is what you're gonna be, mostly when you're laying down a cityscape or the opening scene, you're gonna see the bird eye view. You can use the bird eye view a lot because you're seeing things from the top down, right? So, and it could be landscape, it could be cityscape, it doesn't matter, but you gotta measure the perspective. So here you could add like Batman or something. Oops, that doesn't even look like Batman. Yeah, that looks terrible. Let's just take that out. Maybe have it here. So, cleaned up a bit. We have people here, people here. Let's just add regular people. Don't need Batman because it's kind of dark and standalone in there. People here, and then people standing here. Yeah, just have a high point, and then the further one you can have tiny little people there, just for the scale, right? So, all right. So now you have bird eye view, and another one. I wonder if I should save them for save the 2-point and 3-point for later, because it's going over an hour. So, all right. Let's see how far we could go. So now we have 1 point, 1 point, mid or normal POV, POV 2, which is bird eye view, you see it's more on the top and the horizontal line is high, right? And then the other one that we're going to make is the number 3, which is